What's going on, guys? What's going on? Thanks for the love. What's going on? Yeah, viewership has been crazy, which is a great thing. All starts with you guys, though. You guys have been driving the success. Every viewer that we get, we just keep climbing on the YouTube board. So we definitely love that. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Just eating some brain food before I get started here. Gonna give it about a minute longer, and then I'll go ahead and get started, guys. Yeah, feel free to go ahead and fire away those questions. TJ will not be joining us today. Not from the car. I know he had a car stream last night. He was actually in a very important meeting. So I think he'll actually be in the chat. So if you guys want to say hey to him, feel free. I think he's listening on the way to home. He might join at the very, very end, but I don't think so. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So last night we went absolutely insane, right? So many winning lineups. I know we had a couple takedowns, and that's just talking about the people that sent me some of their screenshots. I actually personally made about $200. I put in about 100, made 200, so I tripled up my money. So that it was all great. So just a round of applause to everybody that was involved in the chat. Got us thinking yesterday. Like I said, this is an interactive chat, so it's not just me, it's not just TJ, it's all of you guys. So thanks again, guys. We are growing this community, we are growing this platform for sure. Just want to thank you guys so much for all the support. With all that being said, guys, I took it a step further today. I actually opened up a link for you guys to submit any donations. They are not required whatsoever. But for the longest time, I was sitting there trying to figure out with my live streams, but I want to make it interactive. I want to make it fun for you guys. So if you guys do feel the need at all, again, if you guys submit a donation, it will come up on the screen. You guys will get a shout out. Once I get to the activity, I will shout you guys out on the stream, but do not feel obligated whatsoever. So again, we are opening up a donation link. It is in the description if you guys are interested whatsoever. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the slate, guys. This slate is not as straightforward as last night, so definitely I'm a little underwhelmed there, but we have an edge, so do not get scared away, guys. We have an edge. So let's go ahead and talk about the chalk first. While you guys are firing away the questions, I love the activity here. So let's go ahead and start with the Spurs, because the Spurs, I feel like we're going to get a lot of questions from this roster. And as you guys know, the Spurs are my favorite team, so I'm a little excited tonight. They're going against Utah. Projected 107.5 against Utah, 113. So it should be a competitive game. It is in San Antonio, thankfully. If it was in Utah, I would be a little bit more scared. As you guys know, these guys are in very good matchups. Utah is a pace-down team, so Spurs playing in a pace-down offensive. They're playing in the pace-down offense here. So Podol got the price increase from 3K. Obviously, bottom of the barrel was a very good option no matter what last slate. But 5.6, is it worth it? My answer is yes, it is worth it. Obviously, we computed values on the sheet. It actually, on their sheet, he's projected at 38.6 something fantasy points. I went ahead and I went with Roto Grinders just because of the bad matchup. It is a pace down, so I'm not scared of Podol, though. I'm definitely not scared in cash, okay? I'm not scared to start Podol. He's going to carry high ownership. He's just one of those guys you just got to play and look away, okay? For cash. I'm just talking about cash. If you want to turn away in GPP, by all means, feel free, okay? But he's also a safe option in GPPs as well. We're looking at Podol as just a center eligibility, so if you want to pivot off of Podol and GPPs, by all means, feel free to do that. Okay, I really do like Trey Lyles here at 22 minutes, 3.7. He actually went down a minute, so I have to recalculate his value. So again, guys, stay with me. I will go ahead and recalculate. 22 minutes, 3.7. He comes out to a 21.75 on our sheet. Again, I have to recalculate that. It's going to be a little bit lower. But Trey Lyles is not a bad punt play, so I do like Trey Lyles. He's pretty good in this spot. I think he has a fairly decent matchup. No, not him. It's DeMar DeRozan I'm thinking about. Yeah, Trey Lyles, 22 minutes. I don't mind him as a punt play, okay? DeJounte Murray is the big question mark here. He's projected right now at 24 minutes. I know he's been getting these weird minutes, guys. He's been getting weird minutes all season. As a Spurs fan, it's very frustrating because I'm definitely a DeJounte Murray fan. Obviously, he's a really good basketball player. So if we look here, he got 22, 25 minutes, 19, 24, 24. I think it's safe to say that he's going to play about 24 minutes tonight, especially since this game's going to be so competitive. So with all that being said, DeJounte Murray he averages 1.2 fantasy points per minute when he's on the court. DeJounte Murray is a decent play. I wouldn't be too scared at the 4.3 price tag. He has to be in the game. I feel like it's going to be fairly competitive, okay? So to break down this team a little bit, Podol's going to be your safe option. Trey Lyles, DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray's a little bit high owned. I feel like he's going to be more cash viable. This team should keep it competitive, guys. I wouldn't be scared of the Spurs in this matchup. Hold on one second, guys. Get notifications. And yeah, I'm going to be going through all the games, guys, so don't worry. I'll get to Indiana in just a second. DeMar DeRozan's going to set up here. He's very low owned. I feel like DeMar DeRozan is going to be my favorite GPP option on the slate. Obviously, gets a 5% increase with Aldridge off the court here. I do like DeMar DeRozan in GPPs. Rudy Gay as well. Rudy Gay is projected at 20 minutes. He's going to be more of a GPP option here. Oh, Kyrie Irving expected to play here. So yeah, to break down this whole Spurs team, I would take Podol and cash and the other guys for GPP. Okay, and they might be viable cash fillers as well, but I would not load up on the Spurs the same way I loaded up on the Bucks and Houston the other night. I think Podol's your only viable option for cash. Okay, really viable, solidified option for cash. Okay, I'm going to recalculate these guys. I know their minutes changed, but I'm going to go ahead and jump right over here to Indiana. I have Podol projected pretty high here. I'm gonna go back and answer some questions here real quick. Yeah, DeJounte Murray did frustrate last game. DeJounte Murray obviously was underwhelming. He did not perform very well. He did not get that many minutes. But tonight I feel like it's a different story. It's going to be at home as well. So keep all that in mind. Podol is going to be a lock in cash. Podol's a 100% cash lock. Yep, I'm going to go right over to Indiana before I look at any of the other questions here. So with Indiana, I know Indiana's going to be very confusing, so let me break it down for you guys. Oladipo, 24 minutes, 6K. I'm going to answer that question right off the bat here. He's not going to be worth it, guys, unfortunately. Oladipo is one of my favorite players to watch in the entire league. He's just so electric, and obviously with his skill set, he can play both offense and defense. Really like Oladipo. I hope he gets back to full strength. I really, really do. But as of right now, 6K, only playing 24 minutes, not going to be worth it. I think FanDuel, he's like bottom of the barrel price. So if you play FanDuel, by all means, feel free to play Oladipo tonight. Brogdon's a big question mark here. 6.6, is he worth it with Oladipo back taking usage? I'm going to say no. So a lot of these guys are going to be under-owned here. I need to wait until the percentage ownerships are updated here. I'm going to refresh all my minutes. This picture for Indiana is very confusing. The only real guy in the smash spot tonight is going to be Sabonis here. Sabonis is going against Chicago. As we know, Chicago is very bad against bigs. As you can see here, they rank 25th in the league against post-up bigs. Sabonis is exactly that. Sabonis is going to get you... He has a very high ceiling tonight. Of course, 9.4 is very, very pricey. So again, just a GPP option. A lot of people are going to be on Sabonis and GPPs. A 4.8 on their sheet. I really am not in love with Sabonis, but he is in a very good smash spot. So I will say that Sabonis is probably the only guy that's in a really good smash spot. Jeremy Lamb, all the other guards got price increases with all these injuries. It's really confusing. If I had to pick one guy from this team, it would be Brogdon. But, you know, Indiana's actually kind of scary tonight. They're in a slight pace-up spot. But again, with Oladipo, we don't know how the minutes are gonna work out here. Doug McDermott here at 23 minutes, or 22 minutes rather. He played 28 minutes in his last contest. But with Oladipo back, for some reason, his minutes are not adjusted. So I'm not really high on these Pacers. I'm really, really not. I get that they are in a pace-up spot, but the prices are just making it hard for me to find my way to them. Looks like the ownership here is updated for these guys, and they're still very low owned. Yeah, and Oladipo is only going to eat into these guys' usage, and I know he's only playing 24 minutes, but, you know, Oladipo is just such a usage hog. Once he starts getting to that full strength, I mean, he got up to 30% usage when he did play full strength last season, and it's just only going to eat into these guys' usage. So yeah, Brogdon could be an outside GPP spot, but again, they're in a bad matchup. We know Levine, we know that guard play does play good defense, so you know, I'm not really too high on these guys. I'm going to go ahead and catch up on some questions here real quick. Yeah, let me go back real quick to the Spurs because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys some accurate projections. Obviously, I stated that I am high on these Spurs for Polo for GPP or for Cash and GPP, and the other Spurs for GPPs. But let me go ahead and just update real quick because the minutes did update and they are a little bit lower than I thought. So I'm going to make sure I'm giving you guys an updated picture here, so you guys can actually see what everybody's looking like here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, where is he? LaMarcus Aldridge, and we're going to see what that does to the Spurs here. Yeah, Oladipo is 4K on FanDuel, so by all means. So yeah, Polos, this is why I'm so high on Polo. 1.11 fantasy points per minute, right? At 32 minutes. That puts him at a projection at 35.52. Roto has him here at 34.66, so that's pretty accurate because it's in the pace down spot, a bad matchup. So I feel like I'm personally going with the Roto Grinders projection. That's pretty accurate. So again, you know, Polo's a great option though, regardless. Patty Mills here. Let me go ahead and update. Rudy Gay's minutes updated 1.1. Sorry, this is the boring part of the stream for you guys who are seasoned vets here in the stream, because you know I do this whenever there's minutes updated or any type of injury. So it looks like Rudy Gay is actually going to be a decent play here for GPPs. I'm going to see what his ownership is carrying for cash. DeMar DeRozan, 1.25 fantasy points per minute. 35. All right, so he's going to be adjusted a little bit down. He was projected at 36 minutes. Bryn Forbes. So as you guys can see, look, DeMar DeRozan gets a 5.7% increase, 0.11 fantasy points per minute. Yeah, Polo's not good. He's just very productive when there's no other centers on the court, no other big guys on the court, because you got to think San Antonio, who do they have? They have Trey Lyles, they have Polo, they have and Aldridge. That's literally all they have for big guys. So that's why he's so productive, is because he takes that role and he just runs with it. I mean, I like him. I like him as a basketball player, but I mean, he's not anything special. But 1.11 fantasy points per minute on the Spurs is definitely a good amount. 1.11 is very respectable. Trey Lyles 22 here. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I want to give you an updated picture here. So yeah, Trey Lyles is definitely not as intriguing as I want him to be. DeJounte Murray. So DeJounte Murray here, 1.18. 24 minutes is what they're projecting him at. I'll go with that. Bryn Forbes. Yeah, we're going to jump to Houston here in a second, because Houston's going to draw a lot of questions. All right, let's look here. All right, so that update, with the updated minutes here, DeJounte Murray is going to stand out a lot to me. I feel like if he gets the minutes, which he should, he has a lot of upside. I know it's a bad matchup. Again, I keep saying that, but 107.5 is not that bad for San Antonio. They usually are at a pace at about 110 to 112. So 107.5 is not bad at home. It should be competitive. Like I said, DeJounte Murray should get a full load of minutes, which is about 24. Podol, 32. I still like Podol. And Rudy Gay is if he's not carrying any ownership, which it looks like it's going to be at 10%, Rudy Gay is definitely a viable GPP option. 3.6, man, Rudy Gay, I've been watching him as a Spurs fan for a while now, and he's just very, very productive. So could be a sneaky GPP option for sure. Yeah, Patty Mills also stood out to me here. 24 minutes, 4K, 5.9. I think he's going to be very low owned. Yeah, here at 6%. So he could be a decent GPP option. The Spurs are going to go virtually... they're going to go lower owned than they should. So if you guys want to take a stab at a couple of these Spurs and GPPs, by all means, feel free. No, I would not go Oladipo tonight on DK, guys. I would not. All right, so let's jump over here to Houston, because as of right now, James Harden is questionable, and that terrifies me because that's going to switch up the entire slate. James Harden, 36 minutes. Right now, I like him at 10.6, 5.4 value on our sheet. Capella is the next guy up here. I don't really like anybody else besides Westbrook, as I've alluded to. If you guys are in the Discord chat, if you haven't been in the Discord chat, feel free to go to the link. It's in the description and join the Discord, because we go over some of our favorite plays throughout the day. We have a nice chat going there. And again, that's where I got a lot of those screenshots last night from the winning lineups. But Westbrook is playing unreal lately. He's almost matching the price tag of James Harden. And James Harden, as we know, is a superstar. He's one of the best scorers in the entire league. 10.6, man. I like him tonight. I actually love him. He's in a very good matchup. If there's a night where he's going to pick it up, man, James Harden, I'm going to be overweight on the field here. 24% is a little too low for me. So I love James Harden. An ideal lineup would look like James Harden for GPP, and then a lot of these Spurs guys. Russell Westbrook, just because of his price tag, I'm not as high on, but again, Westbrook has been killing it. I mean, if we look back here, 52, 69, 69, 70, 60, every single time he's smashing value. So I'm not saying Westbrook is a bad option at all. I think just because of his ownership, it's a little bit higher in GPPs than I'd like it to be. James Harden is where it's at. I think this is a bounce back game for James Harden for sure. As you guys know, he's been struggling immensely, but like I said, if there's a night where you're going to take advantage of James Harden's ownership and his upside, it's tonight. I really do like James Harden, Westbrook, and GPPs, but those two guys are the only guys I like from Houston. Everybody else, like Eric Gordon's price tag here at 7.3 is just way too high. Daniel House, 5.5. The only other guy is PJ Tucker. He's in a good matchup, 4.6. If Capella is rolled out, actually, I still think he's questionable. I need to go look back here. Yeah, Westbrook and Lillard do go at it. That is a good point. If you're in the narratives, however, I'm not really in the narratives too much. I never really look at those unless it's like something crazy. So yeah, Capella is still questionable. Like I said, guys, if you are in the chat, you please update me on all the updates here. I'm not going to be looking down at my phone too much for Fantasy Lab, so please update me if anybody gets ruled out or any kind of late-breaking injury news for sure. All right, I'm going to go back and answer some questions. You guys are firing them away. All right, so yeah, Irving is a good play. I'll talk about Irving real quick because I haven't touched base on him. Irving averages 1.44 fantasy points per minute. I do like Kyrie Irving tonight. He's in a very big smash spot, a good spot. 9.1 is still underpriced for him. I do like him. He's in a pace-up spot tonight. I really do like Kyrie Irving. He could be a very viable option for cash and GPPs, for sure. Here we go. Sorry, guys. I'm scrolling through all the questions. Yeah, so I do like Lyles as a GPP option tonight. I like any of the Spurs as GPP plays. I like Podol, and I like Murray as cash plays tonight. Those guys are going to carry the most ownership on the Spurs for good reason. Irving's a good play. And you like Bogdan. I think Bogdan, you're referring to Utah, so on the other side of the ball. Bogdanovich is in the bad play. Again, these guys are playing in pace-up spots, so I'll talk about Utah in just a second here as soon as I get through these questions. Gary Trent at 21 minutes. No, I don't really like Gary Trent tonight. Maybe very low owned in a GPP if he's one of your last spots. But DeRozan GPP or cash. He could be cash viable, but I think DeRozan's more of a GPP option. I do like DeRozan tonight. Like I said, I'm on the Spurs a lot. I do like the Spurs tonight. I haven't even talked about my favorite teams yet. You guys are firing away the questions, so I love how active it is. Yeah, obviously, if Harden is out, guys, it's going to switch up everything. If I think he's leaning more towards probable, though. If Harden's ruled out, obviously, Westbrook 1,000%. I retract everything I've ever said about Westbrook being overpriced. He would obviously be in a smash spot. If Harden is out, guys, it's a completely different story. I guess I can go ahead and compute values at the very end of the stream for that. Yeah, don't let recency bias get in your way here. Bogdan for the Kings. For Houston, guys, I'm telling you, the ownership's going to be way too low on Harden. Let's see. I'm looking at Sacramento. So Bogdanovich, yeah. So Bogdanovich is going to carry a decent amount of ownership here. Bogdanovich isn't in a bad spot. Basically, these Kings are actually pretty underpriced here. The top here for GPPs. So De'Aaron Fox, Bjelica, or Bjelica, sorry, Bogdanovich are all decent plays. They're going to carry a certain amount of ownership for cash, but I really only recommend them for cash. They are still benefiting without Bagley and Holmes. Irving or DeRozan? So I do like Irving tonight. I like Kyrie Irving. He has a lot of upside. All right, I'm going to get back to the questions here. You guys are just flooding the chat. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Portland because Portland obviously is in a very up-paced tempo here. I do like some of these Portland Trailblazers. So I like Carmelo Anthony. I do like CJ McCollum just because it's a pace-up spot, 6.9. And I really do like Whiteside. I know he's drawing the bad matchup here against Capella. If Capella is out, dude, Whiteside's going to take full advantage of that. I really like Whiteside tonight. If Capella is out, that could be very sneaky. So a good strategy, guys, might be to be loading up on this Houston-Portland game with the hopes that Harden or Capella gets rolled out and then pivoting because that's going to be my strategy. I'm going to be doing that a lot. I'm going to be loading up on this Houston-Portland game plus the Spurs, and I'm just going to be waiting till that news breaks because it's a 10 o'clock game. It's late enough so that it will change up the entire slate, and then I'll go ahead and pivot to all these Houston guys. Right, because obviously with the usage monster of Harden being rolled out, it's going to create so much opportunity for the Rockets. So I do like Whiteside. It pace up spot again. This is a pace up spot for Portland, so I like pretty much like all these guys. But if I had to pick one, Carmelo Anthony, probably Whiteside number 2, and then McCollum. Ariza is not a bad play. He actually is pretty. He's been doing pretty decent on this roster. And 4.9, I mean, in a pace-up spot, could end up being a fairly good option. The only guy I do not like tonight is Damian Lillard. I know I'm crushing a lot of guys' dreams tonight. He's in a bad spot. Their defense does perform well against guards. Damian Lillard, however, if you're in the narratives, okay, because he performs fairly well against Westbrook. But I think just 10.5 is just a little too pricey for me. But yeah, I do like these Portland Trailblazers. So what I'll do, guys, real quick, is I'm going to go ahead and build 150 lineups just to give you a general direction. I know I'm kind of all over the place. You probably have so many internal questions right now. Feel free to ask them in the chat, guys. Of course, if this is your first time to the chat, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of fun. We go over our favorite plays every single night, guys, before lock. A lot of these streamers do not do that. They don't do it all the way up through lock. We compute our own values. We do not go with roto grinders usually. So yeah, with all that being said, guys, thanks for all the support recently. I do appreciate it. All right, so it's kind of funny. This first lineup here has 5 Spurs. So yeah, I do like the Spurs tonight. I like them in GPPs even more just because they're not going to carry as much ownership as they should. So if you look here on the right, Patty Mills actually is a decent option here in one of my lineups. So I like Poeltl. I like Murray. I like Gay. And then we haven't talked about Derrick Rose, so I'll go over there real quick to Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose is in an average spot here. Looks like Detroit, it might be a little bit of a pace-up spot. I think Detroit averages about 108, so a little bit of a pace-up spot. D-Rose's price went down, only about $200, but he still bodes well on the sheet. A 1.3 fantasy points per minute. I like Derrick Rose tonight, and if he's at 16%, that could be a very good GPP option. So Derrick Rose, again, I feel like he's always in the mix now. Derrick Rose, if he's getting 33 minutes, man, he's a good GPP option. And actually, I think the last time I looked at him, he was at 30. He was at 32. So let me go ahead and update that real quick. No, 33. So it's right. Yeah, so Derrick Rose at 42.9 fantasy points comes out to a 5.6 value on our sheet. I do like D-Rose and GPPs. Drummond is another GPP option just because he's so expensive. He's also in the smash spot. Like he's probably another great option to look at for GPPs. He's going to carry very low ownership again with his price tag, but again, he's in a smash spot. So if you guys are going against recency bias, because I know he had that really bad game last game against Cleveland, which he should have went off. 9.7, he got the price tag increase, and now he is a 5 on our sheet, but he could be very low owned here in GPPs, so not a bad option as well. Yeah, Memphis and New York, there's some decent options there. Let's go ahead and go over to that game. So let's talk about Memphis, because this is one of my favorite GPP options on the entire slate. I like Val tonight, and I'll tell you why. 6.4 is a little too cheap for him. He averages 1.22 fantasy points per minute with the injuries off the court. 6.4 in a prime matchup against New York. It's going to be an average spot for them. Clint Capella expected to play, guys. So I'm glad we're getting that news now. We might be able to adjust with Harden. Hopefully the Harden news comes out here. All right, so Valanciunas is a great GPP option against the Knicks. They're going to be, it looks to be a competitive enough game just because the Knicks are playing at home. So I like Val as another GPP center. There's so many different options for center tonight. And in GPPs, I might get away from Polo, and I might end up playing people like Val, like Drummond, to give myself a little bit of leverage tonight. But with that being said, Polo's going to be a good cash option here. I don't really like anybody else from Memphis. I know like a lot of people are going to be on Morant, but he's a little bit overpriced. He only averages 1.11 fantasy points per minute at 7.2. It's not that intriguing. He's in a bad matchup here. Like I said, the only guy that's in a good matchup, that's in a decent spot here, is Val. I do like him in GPPs. Let's go over here to the Knicks. So the Knicks, I did like him this morning. They're going to be playing in a slight pace-up spot. I just don't trust any of these guys at their price tag. Bullock, Peyton 6.3, 31 minutes. Marcus Morris, 6.5. I mean, these guys are decent GPP options, but I wouldn't be too heavy on them. Julius Randle, I mean, he's in a bad matchup, 34 minutes. There's a lot of options, as I've stated, at the center position. So if you guys have to pick a center, I probably wouldn't go to somebody like Randle. I'd be going to somebody like Val or Drummond or Polo at the center option tonight, or Whiteside. Whiteside's another very sneaky option. All right, let me go ahead and get to a couple of these questions here. Yeah, so I mentioned Ariza is a good punt. Like I said, this is such a high-paced game. Houston and Portland, the highest implied over-under on the entire slate. Let me go ahead and pull up my summary here while I talk to you guys, or while I answer some questions here. Memphis is priced down, but they're also in a pace down spot. So like I said, the only guy that's really going to take advantage of that is going to be Valanciunas. Bazemore for 3,400. Yeah, so we can talk about Bazemore real quick. Bazemore, 20 minutes. He's just not that productive of a player. 3.4. I mean, that price tag was the same when before he got traded, and he just wasn't productive. So I'm not going to take Bazemore. I'm not really too intrigued by him. I know he's in a good matchup, but 20 minutes. I usually don't like taking anybody over 25 minutes. That's usually how it goes. Yeah, Westbrook and Gordon for sure if Harden is out. Yeah, I'm fading. I'm going to probably fade Lillard tonight. So that's going to be some of the edge. Yeah, I'm going to have very little exposure to them. Appreciate the shout out, Keith. Appreciate the shout out. Yep, Kyrie Irving is in a good spot to go off tonight. They are projected at 116. I do like Kyrie Irving as a GPP option. As you can see, Kyrie Irving here, I'm going to be slightly overweight on the field as of right now. I do like Kyrie Irving as a GPP option. These lineups that I'm building right now are going to be GPP. What's your opinion on Victor Oladipo and the price tag under 25 minutes? Would you play? No, I already mentioned that Oladipo is going to be a little too pricey for me. I love Oladipo. Do not get me wrong. But again, like, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be playing him. He's going to be over-owned in GPP, so I wouldn't even get on him. I mean, he's not going to carry that much upside. So at 24 minutes, no, I don't really like him. Again, if anything, they're going to be more conservative with his minutes, not aggressive, because it is his first game back. But I do hope he gets healthy, and I hope to see the full Oladipo back here. What center outside of Polo? So I just mentioned some. Drummond, Valanciunas, great options. I do like Whiteside as well. These are all great GPP options. Thad Young's also another one that I haven't mentioned yet. Thad Young's not a bad option. Harden expected to play. Okay, if he's expected to play, yeah, I still like Harden in GPPs. Yeah, James Harden here. So I'm showing him at 47%. I'm having him very aggressive on the field. So that gives you an idea of what I'm looking at. I do like James Harden tonight. Yeah, Kyrie should have a good game, guys. Sabonis, Randall, Bjelica, or Bellalici, I keep saying his name wrong, or Jaren Jackson. I would probably go Bellalicia and Sabonis. Those are probably the safest option of those guys. Murray, Rose, Bogdan, Gay, Valanciunas, Harden, Bazemore, Kyrie for GPP. The only guy I would hesitate at is Bazemore. But yeah, I mean, that's a solid lineup otherwise. You feel safe playing 5 Spurs in the cash line? Maybe not 5, no. I mean, there's the safest ones are Podol and Murray. I feel like those guys are going to be your staples in the lineups. And then I wouldn't mind playing somebody like DeRozan tonight in cash for sure. TJ is not here tonight. Sorry, guys. TJ might join at the very end. PJ Tucker, a good play? PJ Tucker's not a bad play. Again, if Capella is playing, I mean, he's strictly just a GPP option at that point. Is Royce O'Neal a good play? So yeah, Utah's in a pace-up spot, so I don't mind anybody from Utah. Mike Conley actually rates best on our sheet. He got a massive price decrease, so if you're looking for like a literally just a punt play here, 3.8, 25 minutes. I mean, he's not bad. He averages 0.98 fantasy points per minute, or 0.91, sorry. Yeah, 0.91 fantasy points per minute. So he rates well on their sheet. He's in a good matchup against the Spurs. Obviously, they don't play any defense whatsoever on the perimeter there with DeRozan. Yeah, James Harden is a very good play tonight. Awesome, guys. I caught up on all of the questions here. Let me get to my other notifications. Thank you, Greg, for the subscription. I really do appreciate it, guys. Appreciate all the support. I'm a one-man wrecking crew tonight, so I'm getting through all of these notifications and all these subscriptions and everything for you guys. So I do appreciate all the support. So yeah, guys, if there's any more questions, like I said, there's some leverage on this slate. Like I said, I'll go back right here to my lineups. I do like Polo. I do like Murray. I do like Gay. I like D-Rose. And Carmelo Anthony is going to be a solid play. Again, we're still pending some injury news in that late game. I think Houston is still pending injury news. Now, can you guys give me an update on James Harden? Because James Harden, somebody said that he's expected to play. Can somebody please confirm that? Got a lineup in here. Irving, Patty Mills, Harden, McCollum, Melo, Ariza, Lyles, Sabonis, Valanciunas for FanDuel GPP. I don't know about FanDuel. I don't know how the pricing is going to go, but I do like all those picks for DraftKings. What's your take on the Thunder and Kings? Let me go ahead and look at the Thunder here. All right, so Thunder, yeah. So I do like Chris Paul. I think he's the only guy that I do like with those guys off the court. I know they have a couple injuries here. So if we go back here to OKC is still without Roberson and Ferguson. Chris Paul does get a slight boost in usage here. 7.4, 5.3 value on our sheet. I think he's just a valid GPP play at that point. These guys I don't mind. However, it's going to be an average spot for OKC. So these guys are going to be all GPP plays. I can't really argue with you on any of these price tags. They're all pretty priced accordingly. There's slight upside here with Chris Paul, but I think he's my favorite option if I had to pick anybody from here. All right. All right, Harden is a go. So, yeah, I do like Harden. Harden's one of my favorite pay-up options on the entire slate. I do like him over Westbrook, guys. I know if you're going with his lowest price tag, he's going to be on the entire season, and lowest ownership he's going to have the entire season. I'm taking advantage of that. Tonight's going to be the night. That's my leverage against the slate, or against all the other guys here. I'm going to take full advantage with Harden being so low owned. Again, if you want to use Westbrook and GPPs, by all means, go for it. I mean, he's still underpriced. He's been killing it, so I can't complain about either one of those plays. But again, Harden's going to be my leverage tonight. Yeah, Kyrie Irving is definitely cash viable tonight. Kyrie Irving's one of my favorite plays. Of course, GPP and cash. He averages 1.44 fantasy points per minute, so I mean, you just can't turn your head at that. It's a pace-up spot for Brooklyn. He is in an absolute smash spot tonight. I'm going to go ahead and update all the percentage ownerships here. Guys, if this is your first time to the stream, please hit that notification bar. Please hit the subscription bar. I want to see you guys back in the live streams. Again, we've made so much money over the past week or so. I know I've taken down a couple GPPs. I've gotten second last night in the GPP, and that wasn't even the best line that was sent to me. Somebody got first, made turned $1 and the 175. So again, guys, it's just overwhelming support. I really do appreciate it. We're growing this channel. If you guys have anything to say to me, feel free to slide in the DMs. I do appreciate all the support, guys. Really, really do. Drummond's a great GPP option. I don't mind Drummond tonight in GPPs. He's going to be very low owned with the price increase, 9.7, so he is in a smash spot. He's in a good spot as well. I do like him for GPPs. What tournaments are you entering today? I usually enter the $4 one. So I think the $4 one, $12,000 to first. I got so close last night. So I wanna vent real quick about last night. I had about five lineups that were in takedown mode, and there was literally one guy in every single lineup that just held it down, and they're all different people. I wish I had my lineup in front of me. I might be able to pull it up. No, I won't do that on stream. But yeah, I had one lineup that got 373, and TJ had one with 375. So 373 got me 58th place in that tournament, and it was with Devin Booker. That's who it was. Dude, Devin Booker got pulled because it was a blowout, right? He didn't play the entire third, but if he would have kept playing, that had some serious potential to get like top 10. So I was definitely mad about that for sure. Yeah, Devin Booker, if you guys listened to me yesterday, it was Ayton and Booker. I was all over for GPPs, and they both were in smash spots, and they both killed it. So, yeah. I do like Valanciunas tonight. Valanciunas is in a smash spot. So if you go back here, he is in a good matchup here against Randall. I do like him at 5.5. DeRozan or Irving and cash? I answered that question earlier. I'm going to lean a little bit more towards Irving, just because he has a lot of upside tonight. Derek White is probably the only guy I don't like from the Spurs. We'll go back here. Derek White, 26 minutes, 4.7. I mean, just GPP. He's carrying more ownership than I like. These other guys are more productive without Aldridge on the court. All right, guys, feel free to ask any more questions about the slate. Like I said, I'm going to go back here to my summary tab. It's not as straightforward as last night, but there's definitely an edge on this slate for sure. I'm going to be overweight on people like Podol, DeJounte Murray, Gay, obviously. Don't go crazy with Rudy Gay and GPPs. Like, don't have 75% like I have him here on the screen, but be a little bit over. If you guys are playing MME, I usually don't go more than 20% over in my exposures than what the field is at. So for instance, if Rudy Gay is at 10%, I usually pin him around 30%, just because you want enough leverage. You don't want to go all in on the player. If you are wrong, it's going to mess up your entire night. Like Derrick Rose, I'm probably only going to have about 36% ownership with Derrick Rose. Yeah, so I like Derrick Rose. I like some of these Portland Trailblazers, starting with Melo, Whiteside. I do like these guys. My smart fade for tonight's going to be Damian Lillard, he's just going to be too overpriced for me. I know he performs well against Westbrook, but that might drive up his ownership, so it might benefit us even more. So, yeah, I might eat my words with that, but he's just a little too pricey, guys. He usually bounces between the 8 and 9K range. I know it's a pace-up spot, but these other guys should benefit as well for Portland. People like McCollum, 6.9. I mean, you need to take advantage of those price tags. You need to take advantage of Carmelo Anthony at 5.9. Hassan Whiteside here, 8.5. I feel like he's never going to be fairly priced, Hassan Whiteside. Definitely a GPP option for sure. Your cash core right now is Murray, Bogdan, Melo, Polo, Kyrie. I do like that. I like that core. What are you thinking for GPP? So yeah, I just gave you my GPP strategy here. All these guys, if you guys look at my screen here, the ones that I'm overweight on here are going to be on the left. Any cash locks? My cash locks tonight are going to be Polo, DeJounte Murray. I'm going to probably put James Harden in my cash lineup. Yeah. And Kyrie Irving's another good one. If you can get both those guys in there. It looks like they're pretty much identical, James Harden and Kyrie. I'd probably lean more towards Kyrie, probably for cash. I think James Harden's going to be more of a GPP option. I wish I could get both of them in there. I do like James Harden and both Kyrie tonight, for sure. I wouldn't mind getting Valanciunas and cash. I like him that much. So those are some good cash plays. Yep, McCollum and Melo are going to be very good plays tonight. They're in a pace-up spot. They're going to get a lot of shots up. Avocado wrist is in tonight. Yeah, Drummond is playing tonight. I do like Drummond in a GPP spot. So like I said, guys, this is my summary right here. I usually pull this up at the end of the stream just to give you guys an idea of what I'm going to personally be doing. All of these ownerships are not going to be set in stone. I'm gonna go ahead and mess with these after I get off from the stream. But as you guys can see, this is my take on the slate. I'm going to go ahead and update my minutes here just real quick to make sure I'm not missing anything. Percentage ownership. So the highest owned guys on the slate is going to be Polo, Kyrie Irving. So yeah, Kyrie Irving's definitely going to be in a good spot here. Bogdanovich is showing at 24%. Melo, DeJounte Murray. Those guys are going to be very high on James Harden here. If this is your first time to the stream, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for showing the support. Like I said, guys, many times, we do this every single night before lock. We go over the edge every single night. And if you weren't in the live stream last night, I said 5 Milwaukee Bucks if you wanted to get a little crazy, but $4. And of course, guys, it smashed. I know it was obvious for a lot of people, but guess what? 30% of the field didn't start $4, which is crazy. So like I said, we create an edge here for all DFS players. And if you guys haven't already, please watch my other videos. I have instructional videos out there. I'm going to be putting more out on how to be a better DFS player for a lot of different topics. So again, we do all sports. We will be doing baseball. We're going to be doing football. I might cover the Super Bowl. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to see if I have enough time this weekend to cover the Super Bowl. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for the support. Yeah, not too many value plays tonight besides the Spurs. I do like the Spurs for value. Brogdon and GPP. Yeah, I don't mind Brogdon, but again, guys, I don't know what's going on. I'm not confident in recommending any one of these players. Like, yes, Brogdon could go off, sure. 6.6 is obviously a discount for Brogdon usually, but again, with Oladipo back, it's a bad matchup. So I'm not going to recommend him. That was my hesitation with Indiana. It's like there's so many different options that you don't really know what to say about Indiana. But I'm not going to recommend anybody in particular from Indiana. Joe Ingles or Thad Young in cash? Good question. Good question. Ingles actually rates well on their sheet here. Joe Ingles, 5.4, 5.1K. Not a bad option. Let's go ahead over here to Chicago. Chicago's obviously in the pace down spot. And he rates to a 5.2. I'll say Joe Ingles just because of his upside. Yeah, and obviously San Antonio is without Aldridge. Thoughts on Reggie Jackson? So Reggie Jackson obviously has been killing it. I'm not going to say anything bad about Reggie Jackson at this point because he's just made me eat my words, but 24 minutes obviously is always scary. 4.5, he's just sitting in that range. I feel like his next price tag is going to be another increase. So yeah, I mean, he does have upside tonight. And GPPs, if you want to take a stab at him, but definitely not cash. Definitely not cash. I can't say anything bad about Reggie Jackson at this point. I do like D-Rose, though. I like D-Rose more just from a value perspective, just because he's playing so many minutes. Mike Conley, yeah, went over Mike Conley earlier. If you want a punt play, Mike Conley definitely has some upside. They don't perform well against guards. San Antonio doesn't. So Mike Conley is definitely a good punt play. 3.8. If you had told me that Mike Conley was going to be 3.8 in his career at some point, I would have told you that you were crazy. I don't get that. He obviously can ball, but they just have so much talent on Utah. Irving, Rose, Ingles, Carmelo Anthony, Podol, Murray, Warren, Val for cash. Okay, Warren's the only guy that's going to carry very low ownership. I would look for a different option for Warren. I mean, other than that, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. You're getting a lot of mid-range upside for sure. I think that's more of a GPP lineup, though. I think there's going to be some low-owned guys that might... So, like, Warren might end up hurting you just because of his price tag. I think he's at 5.8. Yeah, 5.8, and he's not productive. Yeah, 5.8. He's just not a productive player, and especially with Oladipo back. I don't know what's going to happen with these Indiana Pacers guys. I really don't. I just don't want to recommend anybody. I'd say the only guy that's in a smash spot is Sabonis, and I can say that with confidence, but 9.4 is just a little too pricey for me. CP3, Satoransky. I didn't go over Satoransky. I'll go back to him real quick. Harden, DeRozan, Melo, Ariza, Sabonis, Lyles, Valanciunas. Is that for cash or GPP? I think it's more GPP. Gallinari and Schroeder. Thoughts on Gallinari and Schroeder? Yeah, I don't hate them, but I think there's better options on the slate. Like Gallinari here at 6.8. He averages literally 1 fantasy point per minute, so he's a little overpriced here. I know it's a slight pace-up spot, so Gallinari could be a good GPP option, but not really for cash. Alexander also is just like, he's in a good spot, but 7.3 is just appropriately priced. Final cash line from Sano. I'm telling you guys, Sano usually drops the fire in here. We are talking Murray, Bogdan, DeRozan, Melo, Podol. Sorry, I'm trying to like process all these guys. Kyrie, Ingles, Valanciunas. I like that. I think it's a good cash lineup. I like that, Sano. McCollum cash. Yes, I think McCollum's a viable cash option for sure, just because of the over-under on the slate. It looks like Houston's line is going up, so that's also good for Harden and Westbrook, if you guys want to note that. It's just because he's playing, so that's why the line's moving upwards. A lot of upside with Harden tonight. Conley or Patty Mills for GPP? Good question. That's a good question. Let's see who's lower owned. I'll drop some knowledge on you real quick. 19% for Conley. I think Patty Mills is lower owned. Yes, 6%. I'd go Patty Mills just because of the ownership. Got your lineup set. Good job. Good job. Steven Adams, question mark. Yeah, Steven Adams. Let's talk about him real quick. Steven Adams doesn't really benefit with any of these injuries. 25 minutes is what he's projected at. I don't like those 25 minutes, of course, at 5.5. I like a lot of other centers tonight other than Steven Adams. If you want to take a stab at him in one GPP for sure. Maybe. 25 minutes, man, is scary. I don't like Steven Adams at 25. Yeah, if only Sabonis was a little cheaper. On FanDuel, he's 8,500. Yeah, he's going to be very high owned on that website for sure. You're getting a lot of Podol. That's not a bad thing. I'd say GPPs. Here's what I'll say about Podol. I'd match the field for GPPs just because there's so many different options for center. That's my advice. I'll say that. All right, guys. It is 6:30. This is the time when I usually cut off the stream. The most we've ever had here, 83. I saw 84 earlier. Thank you so much for the support, guys. If you did enjoy the stream, please hit the subscription button. Please hit that notification bell. I want you guys to be first to the stream. I got right in the stream, and there was like 20-something people, guys. Again, I appreciate it so much. I really do. We want to grow this channel. We want to grow it from the ground up, and we have been. We've been doing so well recently. So with all that being said, guys, again, please please hit that subscription button. We want to see you guys back. And again, we have a lot of fun here at Daily Grind Fantasy. So guys, have a great night. Have a great Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be another good slate. So I'll be recording the video early in the morning, and then again, I'll be updating throughout the day as I normally do. If this is your first time, that's what I do every single day. Oh, hold on, guys. You got TJ calling. I was literally just getting off.
Oh, really? Are you still streaming?
Yeah, I'm still streaming.
What's up, everybody? I missed it, huh?
Do you want to give any last words on the slate? Did you do any research on the way?
What's up?
Did you do any research on the way in your car streams?
Yeah, I was driving 80 on the highway trying to get back from a sales meeting down in Massachusetts, get back up to Portland, Maine. So sorry I wasn't able to pop in, guys. I got held late at the meeting. Matt, I know you touched base on a lot of your GPP plays because I was obviously listening on the way back. I just want to give core 4 for tonight that I'm going with for cash that we're going to be putting out for our members.
For sure.
Did we find out the pronunciation of Podol, our Hurdle's last name?
No, we didn't.
Still haven't found out. Okay, no. So I'm going to keep going with Jakob Hurdle. You go with Podol. So obviously Jakob Hurdle's in a great spot again tonight. He was an absolute menace last night. I think he went for what? It was like 42 Draftkings points. So I fully expect him to be very chalky in cash tonight. So I think he's a fantastic play. I really like CJ McConnell at 6,900. Obviously, I know you touched base on DeJounte Murray. I think him and Jakob Hurdle are going to be two staples in our cash lineup tonight.
Yeah.
I also like Mike Conley at 3.8. I know you touched base on him a little bit.
Yeah. He's carrying a decent amount of ownership too.
I actually think he is going to carry a decent amount of ownership, especially at that price tag of 3,800. So I definitely don't mind Conley as a cash play tonight either. I know you mentioned James Harden. I know you mentioned Kyrie. I really like Kyrie at 9,100. I really like James Harden at 10.6. I also kind of like Westbrook at 10.4. I think that he's a little bit undervalued.
He's going nuts lately.
Yeah, he's been playing very, very well. And it's my understanding that game is still the highest over-under, correct?
Yeah, it actually went up. Houston went up 122.
9, yeah. So that's kind of why I like guys like CJ McConnell tonight in cash, just because of that extremely high pace of a game. And I can get behind Westbrook or Harden if you can get them in cash. And I know you touched base on Valanciunas as well. I really like Val at 6,400. I think he's in a very good matchup against the Knicks.
Yeah. Yes.
So if I'm taking a quarter night, it's going to be Jakob Hurdle. It's going to be CJ McConnell. It's going to be DeJounte Murray. And right now, I think it will be Mike Conley as my fourth. And then, like I said, if you like Hassan Whiteside, really good spot, obviously, again, against Capella. But I kind of want to get a Westbrook or a Harden in my lineup as well. If you can fit Kyrie in there, too, that's fantastic. Melo at 5,900, definitely cash viable. And like Matt said, and like I just alluded to a little bit, Valanciunas at 64 is in a good spot, too.
I was saying if you could get Harden and Kyrie in one of your lineups, that would be nasty because I think those guys have a lot of upside tonight.
Go make a GPP, you guys. Why not roster get Harden and
Westbrook.
Get Westbrook. Get them both.
Yeah.
Why not?
Then you can't miss. Yeah, if they go to overtime, can you imagine?
You come back with, I know there isn't too many value plays, but if you have Westbrook and Harden in a GPP lineup, I think you'll be very unique. I don't think a lot of people will roster both, and I think they're cheap enough where you can do that. You're probably going to have to come back with Mike Conley, DeJounte Murray, and I know you alluded to Bazemore, who's somebody just isn't very productive. Even when he was in Portland, now he's in Sacramento. Just don't trust him, especially with the minutes. I think I'd rather go to like 3,600 with a Rudy Gay. But I think you can make that work tonight. I definitely know I'll be experimenting with a Harden Westbrook stack tonight.
Yeah, one more guy I didn't mention, and he actually gets a slight usage boost here with Chicago with all the injuries. Satoransky's actually showing undervalued on his sheet too, so just another guy to consider. Throw in there if you guys are looking for more GPP plays. DeRozan's showing at 6% ownership right now, by the way, guys. So take that with a little bit of knowledge, and you might be able to have some leverage against the field. I think DeRozan's in another good spot, getting a 5% usage boost. So I just updated all the ownerships, and he went down to 6%. So very interesting.
Yeah, I mean he played very well last night or 2 nights ago against Chicago without Aldridge. So I expect him to. I mean, I don't understand why he wouldn't duplicate that type of effort and kind of take control of the offense like he did last time. He had a 36% usage rate. Like that's pretty absurd. So yeah, I definitely like DeRozan as a GPP play.
Cool. I was literally just getting off stream. Do you want to say anything else? I'm gonna let you run it now because I was getting off.
No, I want to go construct our cash line. Make sure we get that out. Guys, appreciate the support. I mean,
Yeah.
we got up to a really high number.
84.
Yeah, that's incredible. So thank you so much. I'm sorry that I had to dip out last night early. I'm sorry I got here late tonight, but I'm good tomorrow night and Friday, so I won't let Matt do all this by himself. But I know we had a great night last night. I don't know if you touched base on that. I was on the phone with my dad
Yep,
when you started streaming early. But another great night last night. I know we stacked the Bucks, who were in an awesome spot. Came back with Beal and Troy Brown in our cash lineup, which was just they didn't carry the ownership.
Dude, Troy Brown was at 11%.
Yeah, and Beal was only 30, which was just very surprising. And I know we talked about it last night, especially before I got off. It's like in those type of games where those over-unders are so high and you're stacking a team like the Bucks, like come back with at least one of those guys on the other side of the ball. And when Bradley Beal's in that type of matchup, if they can keep that competitive, I mean, that over-under was what, 240?
It was insane, yeah.
Just and they kept it close, and that let Beal play the minutes that he'll play in a game in which it's competitive. I mean, the Wizards brought it. I think they were down like 7 in the fourth. It was insane. So yeah, another good night last night. Hopefully we can duplicate that tonight. And yeah, just good luck, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow night. That's really all I got. I gave the core 4, so.
Yep, you did your job. All right, guys. Again, thanks for the support. We will see you tomorrow. I will see you on my video and on the live stream tomorrow, right? Everybody. So have a great night, guys, and let's cash.